That time of year, this is when a lot of people will be traveling, including spring breakers looking for their next fun destination. But, it all comes obviously with a price, but also you got to worry about some security issues as well, depending on where you're heading and for the right things to do. Maybe you're not doing it right now, but we are going to have this great segment to kind of break down the do's and don'ts coming on your next travel day or coming up maybe in the next week as well. So I want to bring in a special guest here on Live Now from Fox as this is Kevin Coffey. He is a travel skills trainer. You are retired from the LAPD where you investigated crimes against travelers at LAX airports, hotels, and tourist destinations. So I'm so glad that you could come on and talk with us this evening and give us a little bit breakdown of some security tips that travelers need to know before they go on their trip.
Thanks, Mike. I thought we'd start off with an area that many travelers really don't think about, especially when they're just going just south of us to Mexico and the Caribbean. We're going to focus today on travel insurance. And again, this is for both the travelers themselves, us as adults, but even those that have sons and daughters and other kids that we're working with that could be late teens or they could be, college-age adults. And one of the areas I like to focus on is most people don't think about travel insurance when they go abroad. They think that their own personal health insurance will cover them, and that is not always the case. So there's a series of questions that I've been talking about for years that any traveler or parent or guardian of someone going should be asking their own insurance company to learn and find out so they're covered and not just stuck in a jam overseas.
Yeah, I think those are just perfect, ideas, as well as some things that you just don't think about all the time, and you just want to get on that trip, right? You want to get there, and maybe you don't think about some of the details that you could be doing right before that trip.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's just talk about a few of them here now, right? So first of all, I like folks to reach out to their own travel insurance company and ask them, not their travel insurance, their personal health insurance, because that's the one everyone usually has. And you can see on the screen, these are the questions I like to have you people ask. Ask for details of international coverage. Do I need additional insurance? And the answer pretty much most of the time is going to be yes, depending on what type of coverage you want. What medical services are covered? This is very interesting for a lot of travelers. When they go overseas, they will find out that a lot of these services they may have to pay out of their own pocket. Could be several thousands of dollars, depending on the destination, the country that they're going to, or the medical facility, if it's in network or not. Another area here you can see is pre-authorization requirements required. Just like here in the United States, if you're doing this internationally, you potentially going to have the same requirements. And if you don't get pre-authorization, you could be in a world of hurt and you may not get your money back that you had to pay up front. And that's the next point you can see here. Do I need to pay up front? And if you've been watching the news here on Fox, they've been talking about this. There's several Caribbean islands down south that there's strong travel advisories against. And they're telling travelers that, hey, your U.S. insurance does not cover you in these hospitals. A lot of hospitals, you have to look at your destination. They are charging you up front. They want you to get a cash advance and pay that money before they even provide the services. And they're telling you that you have to then go back and submit the forms back to your insurance company and try and get reimbursement. Challenge is if this is a serious injury, say you're in an Uber or taxi cab, get in an accident, what if you have a brain injury or a broken bone? It could be $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, and who has that cash to be able to put up front?
Yeah, that is so true. And Kevin, if you can break down for us a little bit from your past on some things that you saw that happened with travelers, maybe if it was overseas, that they just happened to come into a bind, and maybe describe some of those situations and maybe how to navigate out of them.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to talk about the one that I think that impacts pretty much every traveler, but we don't think that much about, and that's right here. And this is our cell phone, right? And sometimes I even go against other people in my industry, and I will tell people that, at least with my life, I hold my mobile phone on a higher level than do my own passport. I lose my passport, I can usually go into the embassy the next day and maybe get one. Maybe I'm delayed a day, but I lose my phone on an international trip, especially if you're going way far overseas and you're going to be gone for a period of time, you're going to be in a world of hurt. So here's the first tip I like to tell folks. If your phone was lost or stolen, do you know your own recovery process on how you would go back and purchase a new phone and repopulate everything and have access to your passwords and resources? If you have an iPhone, which is a huge majority of the population, there's a new update that just got issued on iPhones in 17.3. And this update, if you don't activate it, because even though the update came into your phone, you had to activate the stolen device protection. If you don't do that, and if a thief got your phone, they're going to have access potentially to all of your credit cards, your banking information, and you have to then activate that switch. So I want you to be aware that this is so valuable to you, not just for the cost of the phone, but it's the data inside it that a lot of these thieves are looking at. So that's going to be the one thing I want to share with you. Number two is going to be pickpockets, right? So it's pickpockets and lost property. Very common issue in any major destination, even here in the United States. If you were to lose your wallet, are you losing all of your credit cards with you? And again, very common. People don't sanitize their wallet. And what I call by sanitizing is you're going to have your 1 or 2 credit cards that you're going to have with you in your wallet whenever you're out and about. But you're always going to have your last one is going to be in your hotel in-room safe, locked up. So if you do lose your wallet, you're going to have an extra credit card to be able to go on with the rest of your travels. There are also different things that you can subscribe to. There's the Department of State has the STEP program. It's free, no cost. And when you go into the Department of State website, you register where you're going and the dates you're going to be there at the destination, your hotel. If anything were to happen in that destination, you're going to get an alert on your phone exactly what the issue is, what to do, where to go. If it's a major issue, they'll start talking about evacuation and those types of issues. But again, many travelers don't do that as far as that's concerned. I like to leave one of the last tip is that we can do is many people don't realize that phones now are these digital identification devices. And in many states in the United States, I know Arizona is one, California where I am is one, I have a digital identification card. It's my California ID is digitally on my phone. And what's nice about that is that if I were to lose my wallet, I can get into the airport without my ID by simply showing my phone. And these are some things that you can do. And as every state turns these on, you need to download this additional layer of identification onto your phones.
You know, those are all solid tips. And, you know, so many people, they get excited about their trip, obviously, and they want to have some fun times. But they also got to do this little stuff right before to make sure that everything goes smooth, because you are really taking a lot of things for granted, I think, security being one of them. I think you'd say that, too.
Yeah, Mike, I will give you one last tip here. Again, I do this normally when I speak to groups of business travelers at national sales meetings, and I take you on a trip and I show you all the mistakes that you make from the beginning to the end. And so I'm just peppering in these different ones for you. But again, as I think about this, are the GPS and tracking devices for your luggage. I'm a strong advocate that anytime you travel, you have to put a tracking device inside your luggage and your carry-on bags and your purses or laptop bags when you travel. We saw that Travelgeddon, as they called it, that happened over in Europe and even in the United States about 6 months ago. Some airports got over 2,000 to 3,000 bags of luggage got left down at baggage claim, and people couldn't find their luggage. So if you had a tracking device, a simple AirTag tile device, or even if you went for a more unique better tracking device, such as this is a Gigo tracker, where it gives you real-time tracking, that's going to help you find your luggage. Case in point, I was traveling in the Turks and Caicos about 6 months ago, and one of our pieces of luggage didn't make it to its final destination. So we went to the baggage clerk and told him, I said, hey, one of our bags aren't here. He looks on the computer and he says, I'm sorry, Mr. Coffey, your luggage is still in Miami. I said, hold on here, Fluffy, it's not. I showed him my iPhone. My luggage, it's my wife's luggage actually, was down in San Juan, Puerto Rico at the airport. So we knew more about where our luggage was than he did. So those are some key factors. And then, as you heard me say, I also want you to put it in your carry-on bag. Because think about this, Mike, you're boarding late to a flight or you miss a connection, you're running to the gate, you finally get on the airplane, you go to get in your seat, you've got your carry-on bag, your trolley bag, you go to open up the overhead compartments, there's no room, is there? So what do they make you do with your carry-on bag?
Check
They
it.
make you gate check it, right? Do you know about 80% of the people do not have identification information on their carry-on bags? So now they have to gate check your bag, and if it has to go to the final destination and baggage claim, and if it gets lost or the tag comes off, you're in a world of hurt. So again, having identification, having a tracking device on there, it's going to help empower you to work with the airlines to help find your luggage.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And Kevin, thanks so much for coming on and really giving us some great insight and our viewers some great tips on the little things that you can do. They seem little, but they'll help you out big time out on the road or across our country or around the world. We appreciate it here at Kevin Coffey, as always.